Hello everybody, Secret here, we're back. This video is gonna be awesome, so you don't wanna miss it, you want to watch it entirely because it's gonna be very freaking cool. So, here's the deal. I want you to imagine one thing right now. You can close your eyes if you want, whatever, but here's the deal. Imagine if you could actually, have a system in place where you could just sit back and relax and sell your courses just like that, okay? Without you having to be spending hours marketing or just being confused about the strategy. Well, if that's your case, let me share with you a story. I knew this guy once was like launching a new course every month, and his income wasn't really increasing. He has tried lots of strategies to actually sell his courses, but nothing really was working, right? He tried Twitter ads, YouTube ads, messenger bots, a lot of fancy stuff, but nothing was really working. So what I'm gonna share with you right now are the 4 steps I help that person follow to actually hit multiple 6 figures with his online course, okay? So with that said, you ready for it? This is gonna be very cool. So first of all, who's this for? You have to meet 3 criteria for this video to actually be helpful for you. So, this training is not for everybody. It's very advanced, and you kind need to already have an online course, either created or at least 50% already done. If you're like thinking about, hey, should I create an online course, or how do I record my course? This is not your training. You should get out of here. This is for people who already have a course or already are recording it, okay? That's thing number 1. Thing number 2, you either have a system that's currently not working, you have a marketing strategy that's not helping you to get to 6 figures, or you're just so confused, so overwhelmed that you don't even know what to do with your marketing, right? You have nothing set up right now. That's criteria number 2, very important. And the third one, with this funny face right here, right here, is that you don't want to be just taking the money of people. You just don't care about money. You also care about impacting people, helping other people's life, and you actually have a course that's valuable and that's helpful to people. If you meet these 3 criteria, congrats. We can get into this with you right now. So these are the 3 pillars. The 3 pillars over here that we're gonna be covering. Okay. We're gonna see them now. First, let's go one by one. This is kind of a spoiler. We're gonna go one by one, just like that. So let's start with that one over there. Step number 1, you have to focus on one course. A problem so many people have right now is that they just start a course, and they never actually finish it to market. Meaning, you create a course and then it doesn't sell very well, and then you just stop and try to share and just create another course, but nothing seems to be working, right? That's important. I have here a bunch of notes here for me. But anyways, what I wanted to talk about is just, hey, you have to focus on one course. If you have 5 courses right now, pick one of them to really focus. If you have only one course, even better, just pick that. Do not worry about creating more. Forget about all those ideas you have for courses just for now, because let's face it, we all live in a world full of distractions. And if you are getting distracted by all the marketing strategies and you also get distracted creating more courses, if you are not yet making 6 figures, that's a mistake, that's an error. Listen, it's not your fault. The problem is that the gurus are always telling, hey, create another course, and the more courses you create, the more money you will make. And then you go to Udemy or you go to anywhere in the internet and you see people with 10 courses not even making 10K a month, right? So why does that happen? Well, quite simple. Let me explain you why in just a second. Before we do that though, I want to tell you this very clearly. Just pick one course, pick one marketing strategy and focus on it. Now, why having so many courses is a problem? Well, because if you spend 80% of your time on creation and only 10-20% of your time on marketing, guess what? The creation is going to be it, which means you're going to end up with lots of courses but no marketing, which means little or no sales, right? That might be a problem you're experiencing right now. And that sucks so much because you cannot achieve financial freedom, you will still be stuck in financial stress, or you might not be able to quit your job or just have a successful course business, right? So what you have to do is the opposite. Instead of just doing 80% of time on creation and 20% on marketing, you have to flip the balance. Stop creating more courses, stop creating more stuff, and focus on marketing. Decide to consciously focus on marketing and spend time actively working on that. Because if you don't take care of your marketing, I promise you, people are not going to come to you and immediately buy your products because it doesn't work that way. Okay, is this making sense? You guys follow me? Cool. So focus is so critical. Pick one course, stick to it, get it to 6 figures, and then once you're making 6 figures with one course, you can launch more stuff. You can create more products because you're already making 6 figures, right? That's core part. Now that you have picked the product you want to sell, right? Now you have picked the product. You have to build the engine. You have to build the funnel that's actually generates sales. Okay, I call it the system. You want to have an automated system that doesn't use huge discounts, that doesn't need scarcity, that you don't need to push people to buy. No, don't do that. That doesn't work. I mean, it can work, but it's no good because it's gonna work for 2 months and then your income is gonna go down, your life is gonna suck a lot. You're gonna go get a job or something. So you don't want that. The problem right now that's happening with 95% of course creators is that, guess what? Most course creators don't have a funnel in place or a strategy. Most course creators, if they have a strategy in place, it's using a scarcity or relying on Udemy or a Skillshare, external platform, instead of taking control of yourself. So the point of this is that you need to have a way, a system that you control, you own, that is automated, that is evergreen, that consistently can take people who don't know you at all, cold traffic, people who don't know you at all, so that you can reach new audiences, brand new people are gonna get to know you, you're gonna impact more people, right? And convert them into people who first trust you, then have a relationship with you, and then buy. Okay, those 3 things: trust, relationship, and buy. Sales. Sales is so important. So in a way that is not gonna be like pushy or like using a lot of scarcity play, you just want to deliver value in a very specific way. And by the way, we can talk about this very specific way of delivering value in just a second. Okay, we're gonna talk about that because I think it's so important, because if you give too much away, they're not gonna buy your course. If you give too little away, you're gonna seem pushy. So I'm gonna talk about this balance now in a sec, okay? Before I do that though, now that you understand you need an engine, you need a funnel, you need an engine. It's like your system's engine, right? Imagine a car. Now you have the engine. Well, guess what? What's gonna happen if you get a car but you never get gasoline? What's gonna happen? Well, you can imagine it very easily, right? Nothing is gonna work out. You're not gonna get sales. So you're not gonna move the car. So now it's time to get gasoline, okay? That's the car analogy I was talking about. Getting gasoline means getting traffic, because the car is the engine, the funnel. The gasoline is the traffic, okay? So if you get gasoline, but you don't have a car, you're literally throwing gasoline to the pavement. And on the flip side, if you get a car, but you don't get gasoline, guess what? Your car is not gonna move. So here you need both of them. And so many people make this mistake. They take a course on how to run ads, but they never really have a powerful system in place. Or you set up a strategy but you're not getting traffic. So that's the kind of analogy. Now, how do you get traffic? How do you get traffic? Well, what most people do is they spend hours blogging, they spend years blogging just to build a small audience, or they try to I don't know, do social media and they post in random groups and spam people. And usually just spend lots of time. You are trading your time for people's attention. And that doesn't work, because if you want to scale, you cannot be spending your time to get traffic. You need to use some kind of advertisement, okay? However, what is the issue here? What happens with most people when they run ads is that they don't reach their most ideal targeted audience. They actually reach the typical 95-year-old woman who's interested in cats and not in your products, right? So there is a way to avoid that. You want to make sure that you only target people who are interested in your topic, okay? The way to do that is by first, these are the 3 steps. Pay attention, because these steps are so helpful. They're gonna change your life once you apply them. First step, you want to do research. You want to go to Google and actually type in things your target audience might be, talking about. Let's say you have a course on cats, right? Or in dogs, right? So you would look for, hey, how to train my dog? And then you can look there in Google and see what's happening. What kind of blogs are talking about dogs? What kind of influencers are talking about dogs? And then you can target those kind of people, okay? With Facebook ads, YouTube ads, stuff like that. Now, the point is, that's the first step. Second step, by the way, you want to dig deeper. You want to look for competitors. If you find an influencer, you find a tool people use, right? Let's say Teachable. Well, you look Teachable competitors, and you will find Thinkific, Kajabi. You will expand your audience. And number 3, test. You have to test, and test audiences, okay? And if you're an expert, you have been running ads for years like me, well, you most likely will have to less test. I usually dial in the audience in a matter of weeks, maybe a week maximum. But most people, when they don't have that experience, it's gonna take you very long time to dial in your audience. So you're gonna have to test a lot. Just bear that in mind and consider that. So you want it to be targeted, because what happens when your ads are not targeted is that you're gonna lose a lot of sales, you're gonna waste thousands of dollars in ads, you're gonna spend lots of time, and you're gonna end up saying something like, ads don't work. When the reality is that they actually do work. They have always worked. If not, marketeer would not be using it. I would not be using it. Coke would not be using it. Big brands would not be using it. It works. You just don't know how to use it, and you have to accept that responsibility, okay? Because that's important. First of all, recognize the problem, and then you can solve it. And once you master the art of paid advertising, once you have the advertising work, I promise you, the easiest, fastest way to scale to multiple six figures with your course business, okay? That's really important. Now, the final one, let me just move myself up here. Like this, I'm gonna make myself smaller. As you can see there, we have, it's so cool to look there. I can look to the text. Oh my gosh, just kidding. The fourth step, automate. Okay, so do you know this fact that 95%, I think it's around 95%, I don't know the exact percentage, but anyways, 95% of the time you're in the air, you're on a plane, 95% of the time, the plane is actually flying on autopilot. The pilot is doing nothing, it's just relaxing, sleeping, or, I mean, something is doing, I guess, but 95% of the time, the plane is running on autopilot. Now, how does this plane actually applies to you and your courses? Well, I will tell you in just a second. Okay, I will tell you exactly what a second. It might not be what you're thinking. I will tell you now. But first, let me tell you what's a common mistake that people do here. Most people just rely on doing a big launch. They are gonna just launch a course, and then after they launch the course, well, nothing happens, because guess what? The launch is a one-time thing. It's not automated, it's not evergreen. So many people just rely on writing manual emails every week. They write an email to release every week. They have to do all this stuff. No, you want your system to be automated and evergreen, because when it is automated, you have to spend any time doing marketing, you can forget about that. When it is evergreen, it's gonna work forever. I've seen systems like this work for years, which is insane, without you having to change anything. So, oops, there is a typo here, by the way, a crazy G. Apart from that, so what I was saying about the plane, okay, the 5% stuff, 95% of the time, the plane is flying on its own, on autopilot. Right? Now, the pilot only has to take care pretty much of the 5%, taking off the plane, pretty much it, right? Same thing applies here. Once you set up this evergreen automated system, you just can't forget. You take it off, you set it up, right? You help the plane take off, and then it's running on autopilot. That's the theory. That's how it should work, okay? And not you just having to spend hours and hours doing marketing. No, that doesn't work. You will have kind of this autopilot system that's running. You only spend 5% of the time making sure you set it up properly with the right systems, right foundations, and you just let it fly on its own. And once you do that, oh my gosh, you can make so much money on autopilot, passive income, real passive income, right? Your business is gonna actually give you freedom. So let's recap very quickly, because today I promised you to show you the 4 steps you need to kind of get traffic, build a funnel. So here they are, right? You can see them right here. Focus on a course, build the engine, get some gasoline, and automate, okay? That's it. So hopefully this was helpful. I'll try to keep it very short, very to the point, no fluff, like all the gurus are putting fluff in their content. This is the real deal. This is the real stuff you need to understand, okay? No need of huge discounts. You don't want to be doing that. This is the truth, even if it hurts. Because so many people just fall in love with doing huge discounts because it's easy to make sales. But no, I know it might hurt to some people, the gurus and stuff like that, but it's the truth. Okay, guys, being honest is so important in your marketing. Apart from that, we're done here. go check out the Facebook group if you're not in. I will leave a link over here or something in this page. Go check out the Facebook group if you're not in yet, and I will see you soon. Bye.